Welcome to Chale Collective Sofa Series, organic conversation discussing issues affecting diasporans from all over the world.
My name is Gabriel Amma. I've been in Ghana for the past, 10 years now, coming from the UK, and it's been emotional.
Wow. Hello, everyone. I am Ajua Yaboa Davis, and I am coming from Washington, D.C., and I've been in Ghana for 3 years. Oh, yeah, 3 years. Hey, it's my anniversary. It's our anniversary.
Okay, I'll see.
Okay, and so I am a mental health professional by trade, but here in Ghana, I do modeling, voiceover acting, and I also have a nonprofit organization. And that's that.
Hi, my name is Maurice Niayete Cheatham. I moved to Ghana 6 years ago, not by choice, but I feel I had a calling. I feel my father called me. I have a travel tour company, African Roots Travel, and I also have a nonprofit. One of our projects is called Baby Like Me, donating black dolls to Ghana girls.
Hi everyone, my name is Kwame Asiedu. I'm from London, Tottenham. I'm a creative director, and I moved to Ghana December last year.
My name is Andy Kojo Samoa. I've been living in Ghana since 2015, so like 8 years now. I moved back to Ghana with my wife and my kids, so it's been a good time so far. I'm the operation manager for ANC Shopping Mall in East Legon, and I also have a tour company called Wild Tours, and I'm also in hospitality with a company called Master's Touch Services.
Welcome to our Chale Collective first Sofa Series conversation.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
We've been talking about this for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite disappointed. All of you said, what you do. I didn't even say anything about myself.
I don't know how.
I thought you were trying to be exclusive.
I want to say what you do.
Okay, now that you forced me.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Anyway,
first.
I'm a real estate developer and a media practitioner. So I do everything in film, journalism, photography, but also develop houses and apartments and stuff like that as well.
Nice.
Great.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yes,
Nice.
and if anybody's coming to Ghana and need an Airbnb, Gabe's the person
True.
to call.
I totally forgot, I do have apartments with Airbnb and stuff like that. It's cool. I was just trying to be humble.
Well, that's why I brought it up.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. So today, you guys, I want to talk about. We've all just moved here and been here for a little while. Want to talk about what are some challenges you've faced internally, being here, and also like outside. Like, what are some challenges like before you came here? What what do you see going on in your home countries that kind of makes you say, oh, I'm kind of glad I moved, or maybe I missed that?
Okay. What I'll say is this: when I left the UK, my wife and my daughter, obviously, she's from America, from Florida, so I've spent time in Florida as well. But leaving the UK was something that I had to do for my mental health. Mm-hmm. It's one thing that I realized about England, which I kind of knew from when I was a teenager anyway. Mm-hmm. The houses are very small. Mm-hmm. So if you're living in a house or you live in an apartment, which we call a flat, you literally get three days of summer every year. And I think that's changed now because of global warming.
It's really hot
But
right now.
the majority of the time, you feel it. You feel kind of anxious, depressed, only because the weather is just horrible. Mm-hmm. And I always felt, I think, ever since my mum brought me to Ghana when I was, 5 years old at the time, then came back to school here when I was 13. Mm-hmm. Being in the heat is something that, especially us melanin people, we need. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think the absence of that is a massive problem. Mm-hmm.
It's amazing you said that, because I just had blood work done, and this is the first time in my life that I had normal vitamin D levels.
Wow. And that's a telltale sign right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I was so shocked.
I would say the reason why, maybe one of the reasons why a lot of the you know, you hear about the stabbings and all that kind of stuff happening in the UK, is because we don't have, number one, we don't have access to guns. But, okay. But with the knife situation, I think children are stressed. They are stressed. There's a lot of things that's going on that they don't understand themselves. They've been brought into a situation that, personally speaking, I don't think it's a good situation for a lot of teenagers, and they act out in so many different ways, right? Yeah. You've got this situation where you have, you know, London tries to pride itself on being a multicultural society, okay, without dealing with the facts of their history, okay? It's a multicultural society because the British Empire went into other countries and conquered them, and throughout time, you know, those people have become part of their system and have moved to the UK for whatever economic reasons. But within that, they've created certain hierarchy systems and a level of, you know, racism towards other people from other countries. You know, the Indians have got a problem with the Bangladeshis, the Bangladeshis got a problem with the Pakistanis, and they're all the same people, you know. So when you put everybody in that melting pot in London, that's high tension. You know, then you've got the situation where you've got within the black communities, you have, you know, the Caribbeans and the Africans. You know, then you've got the Nigerians and the Ghanaians. It's engineered. You know, they pick these things so that everybody of color, if you want to call it that way, are fighting each other whilst they're benefiting.
It's very similar in the States, though.
Yeah, and I saw that from a very young age. So for me, I just wanted to leave. Yeah.
Can I say this is why I love Chale Collective, diverse perspectives. Like Gabe, you have educated me, you and Kwame, both being from the UK, on things and perspectives I never knew about the UK. I never knew the UK struggle and some of the conversations and that's why I really love Chale Collective, the diverse perspectives coming from all over the world. I just want to say thank you for sharing some of those things to y'all both.
No problems. Yeah. So I mean, for me, Ghana's a safe place for me. When I'm in the US, I feel it's a different level kind of stress, because now, you know, through media, we're seeing a lot more police stops, police brutality, killings, mass shootings. So every time I'm there, the last time I was there, I think I was only there for 5 days. I can't stay longer than a week.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
And
because
you're coming from Florida, right?
Exactly.
Which is the stand your ground state. And that's where Trayvon Martin was killed, right?
Yeah.
And the other young man, Davis, the guy shot the kids. He shot him in the car with his kids.
We can't even keep up no more.
Because they were playing their music loud, like, you know, and he got off because, you know, it was a stand your ground type of situation.
Yeah. And I get worried. You know, I have a 5-year-old daughter that's obviously, you know, she's got 3 passports. She's British, Ghanaian, and American, you know, which is great. But, you know, the reality is I have to think about her future. You know, is she going to, you know, when she becomes a teenager and she decides, oh, you know, Dad, I want to go and live in America for a little while. I'm thinking, well, is it safe for you? You know, I get stopped every day in Ghana by the police, and I don't think to myself ever that am I going to get shot. Do you see what I'm saying? I see it from the perspective, okay, well, I'm going to get stopped because they have checkpoints in the evening. It's one of those situations of you just smile with them, laugh with them. Yes, they're going to make, you know, little gestures to say, give me something small. But, you know, that's the worst you're going to get. You know, exactly. But you can't say that about outside. So for me, Ghana's my safe place.
From a female perspective, and you're thinking about your daughter, and a lot of men don't even understand the perspective from our challenges as women. And you know, you guys, I think about it from, okay, am I going to get shot? But it's for women, we have to think about body protection. And like my fear in the States from being stopped by the police was, you know, am I going to be physically sexually assaulted? Not only am I going to lose my life, but what else are they going to do to me? And I didn't even realize I had trauma around the police until I moved to Ethiopia. I stayed in Ethiopia for a while, and now I got pulled over by the police, and I panicked so badly because I was like, because the situation was, you know, I was with friends and the police stopped us, and the driver jumped out of the car and they're just talking, and I'm like, wait, what is he doing? Why are you jumping out the car? car, you know. I'm literally back there like panicking. Then he opens the trunk and I'm like, oh shit, we got drugs, you know.
You need a shot of Hennessy or something. That's real trauma in your life.
But I didn't realize I had that trauma until that moment.
Yeah.
And then
That's interesting.
I went
seriously.
home, seriously, you know, and I went home and I had to check myself and like, damn. Like I thought I had done my work, right? And was ready to make the move. And I tell people all the time, we have dealt with so much trauma in the West that we don't even realize how it will impact us once we get to a place of peace. And so I had to really, you know, kind of do my own internal work around that and deal with my own trauma. And I like cried when I got to my place because it scared me that I had such a reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Mom.
I guess my story's a little bit different, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but growing up, you know, my father came to America, rose up through the corporate ladder. But my father was truly from Bukum, heavy accent, and I grew up at a time where it wasn't cool to be African. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't cool. While my cousins wearing jerseys, I'm a little kid wearing African stuff. My aunties that sent me and stuff. So I fought every day, chop fufu, everything. And about 11, I told my father I no longer want to be African. This ain't it. This ain't it, man. Don't come to my basketball games. This is my father. And it was hurtful for him, it's hurtful for me, but what you want me to do? Mm-hmm. I step out the house, I'm banging every day. Mm-hmm. And we lived in the suburbs, you know? And it wasn't with the Caucasians who they had culture. It was with the African Americans. Mm-hmm. So I grew up, man, around 12, I put it in my back pocket. Nobody knew I was Ghanaian. Nobody knew I was African unless you were my close friends. 18, my father still supporting me, went to college. I love my dad, man. My dad's a figure of my life. He retired when he was 20. About 30, 35. He sent me and my brother at least 5-6 tickets. We ain't coming to Ghana. Wanted no parts of it. I didn't come until my father died. And I'm going to be very clear. It was a spiritual feeling where I knew I felt at home. I knew just the freedom moving around. I knew just the engagement. And it didn't work out like that, let me be clear. My relatives tried to run the game on me. I was an African-American boy. They'll send him home. He is not going to make it. But to sort of shorten the story, the last time I came, I stayed. It was supposed to be for a month. It went to 6 months. It went to a year. And I never left. Ghana's home for me. Despite all its ills and people talk, I love Ghana. I love the freedom. I love to engage with people like you all and my friends and the opportunities we have to change legacies and generations. So that's why I'm here. And I felt that my father called me here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You guys saying some great fairy tales and stuff. Sounds good. You guys should work for the Ghana Tourism Authority. I do tourism. You guys should try to sell your tours. He's trying to get his rent. He's trying to get his apartment. He's trying to sell tours. Hey, Ricky. Keep it real.
Hilarious.
Let's keep it real. I don't know. I'm just gonna say right now.
These millennials.
Facts.
Oh man. So look, I'm 7 months in.
Yes.
I moved December 2022. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed bag for me, if I'm honest. Mm-hmm. I'm very blessed and grateful that there are some, financial things that I don't have to worry about. My father has a property, so I'm not, rent is extremely high here. I'm not worried too much about that. Mm-hmm. And I work remotely, so I'm still earning pounds and dollars. I say that not to say anything about, but that is a massive help.
Yeah.
If you're living here earning cities, inflation is 40%. Like, it's a real. So let's not paint this idyllic picture that when
we were going to get to the negatives and
I'm not,
you just
this is experience. We're talking experience. This is experience. I thought we're still on the experience.
Let's go.
Or should I wait?
Go ahead.
All right, fine, cool. I wasn't going to wait.
It's free food. No. Game to chop it up.
Go ahead.
We got two directors here.
And you know what? I'm actually querying myself. Because I think in the first 2 to 3 months, I was like, hey, like I was in all the clubs, yeah. And then like 4 or 5 months in, after when all of that had kind of died down, I really sat down with myself and I thought, all right, cool, what's the purpose here? Mm-hmm. Like, what was my initial purpose? And my initial purpose was much of what you said. For me, the UK became not it. Like, I'm at an age where I'm probably mid 30s, quite okay in my career. Someone who might be buying a house in the UK, maybe getting married, like onto that next step. And I felt like those things in an environment, temperature, finance, inflation, and just a hell of white people that I can't be asked to be navigating every single day.
Right.
Yeah.
It's something that I didn't want the next phase to be filled with.
Yeah.
And so I had an opportunity being dual national to come here, and I just took the leap. So 5, 6, 7 months in. Ghana's hard because for me, I'm of both worlds. Like I first came in here, I was trying to mix it up with all the maybe the local people. I'm not local in any way. Look at my face. My cousin says this is my uniform. My uniform is gonna causes me problems wherever I go.
Wow.
So I have to really. She's like, look at your uniform. Like she's talking about all of it. So I can't pretend to be somebody or something that I'm not. But then if I am a Brit, then I'm not really, because I'm of Ghanaian heritage. So I think it can be a complex case in identifying what your identity now is, being of both worlds. I think navigating that and communicating that with the people in the community can be quite challenging. They see you as something else. And a lot of people do this. They're earning job seekers allowance in London and come and be rolling because it can pay for pound here and think there's something else. You can't come here to Ghana and be thinking you're guy when you're not even guy. And people just elevate themselves real quick. That's not reality.
But you know what? They crash and burn real quick as well. Because they can't sustain. But I don't want to take away from your story.
No. Please, carry on. Feel free to add in. So they do crash and burn. So then it becomes a thing of you remove your ego, you remove what you think you are in London, and now you're mixing up with real life. I think Ghana is real life. You see real challenges, real hardships, and so when you come from a place where, rightly or wrongly, maybe my parents moved there, I was born in Asylum Down, but I didn't choose to be raised in England, and then you come to a place where people want to be there. I've had people tell me, I will switch your life right now. Give me your passport. And then I make the mistake of having the discussion of, no, but really, you don't know what it's like. Okay, you think I have these pounds. You think I can drink 6 coconuts a day. Yes, I can. But you don't know what I've had to endure in a system that is extremely oppressive, and you have to work on yourself to get to where I'm at. But that doesn't matter when this next person you're talking to is talking about whether you can eat tomorrow or not. True. And so this is the kind of the mind.
As Americans, we have that same conversation all the time.
It's the kind of mind fuck that you get when you're you're here and you're really trying to just not be an alley bar, So a little bit of my story.
Andy.
For me, I think I never thought I'd be living in Ghana, actually.
Really?
Because I grew up in France, 18 years. I came to Ghana for 2-3 years, but I went to the United States. So the whole thing was like, if I'm outside, is to accomplish it, to make it over there. So it was never in my mind, but I always had a Ghanaian passport. I never got the French passports, and when I went to the States, you think I would have married someone who was American, got in the papers, but my wife is Haitian, and she didn't have American passport either. So both of us, after college, we were just trying to see what we can do, get the government, get a job that would sponsor us, help us get our papers, but we didn't get it. And she could have stayed, but I couldn't. So I had to make a decision to stay in the States without documents or come to Ghana. So I had the option. Yes, my parents built ANC Mall, something to fall back to. But it was never my intention, because the way I was even hustling in the States without a job, from hospitality, cleaning here, being waiter, security, valet, I did it all just to make money, delivering medicine, sugar. I did it just to be able to pay the bills because I wanted to make it there. But it came a time I was really praying about it. And God was convicting me, I want you to go back. I don't want you here. If I wanted you here, I would have made sure that I would have been here. So then I just told Lucy, I was like, listen, I think it's time to go. My dad was always anytime you say come back, they
always want you to come back.
No program, when you come, they'll give you trouble. I wasn't too sure.
It's the trap. You got punished. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Nah, joke.
But came back to Ghana, worked with the family, and I think I've learned so much being over here, you know, and I'm glad I'm here. I see the opportunities over here that's been there for me. So I understand when you come back, you don't have something to fall back on. It can be very tough financially.
Right.
So I didn't have that financial issue coming back. So that was good.
Yeah.
But it was more about purpose.
Yeah.
Then I realized God has a purpose for me in Africa. It was showing me there's so much to do over here that He wants to use me to impact people's lives and make a change. It's like, I don't need you over there. I need you over here. So I understood why I was down here, and I understood my journey. Being in Europe, I like that I went to the US before coming to Ghana, because I think just being in France, especially as a black person, is different. Like, you know, the racism, the way they treat you, the way it is, you don't really have a voice, you don't believe in yourself. So when I went to the US, being around African Americans, that changed everything. The way the voice was, believe I'm black and I'm proud. I was able to build that over there and come back to Ghana, because Ghana was still under that yes sir, massa, you know, that kind of thing. So the US that helped me build that up to come back, and I'm ready to be here and empower my people, you know.
That's one of my frustrations.
I'm glad you said that.
That's one of my frustrations being here, is like, because I always say that Ghana's kind of a generation behind us in the States, and they're still in that, you know, that kowtowing to the white people, and it annoys me so much. And then they look at us like, oh, you Americans are so loud and you're just so
Exactly.
No, I
That's
said
not
no.
that.
We just know how to advocate for ourselves.
That's right.
If something's not right, we're going to say something. Where, you know, Ghanaians are very, you know, passive, and they just let things go. And I think that we have an opportunity to help Ghanaians understand you don't have to settle for something. You can, you know, express yourself and ask for, you know, what you want. And, you know, and if you see something's not right, to get out there and say something. And it doesn't mean you're being disrespectful, because culturally they feel like, oh, you're being disrespectful. You can disagree in a respectful way.
Choked. Somebody uncle choked. You let one of these young boys go home talking to their uncle or their grandpa.
No, but I just said you could disagree in a respectful way.
No, very valid point. I'm so glad.
I just from Chale Collective said you can disagree.
I think you can speak to what I'm saying, because the situation dealt with.
Totally. But elders, it's you're saying something I like what you're saying.
No, because you just dealt with the situation with your elders where you had to, you know, you had to fight, right? But eventually, because you stood this ground, but you know, and you
go into the compound, talk about what express myself.
There's a way to do it. There's training. But you ended up being victorious in a way, because you were able to use your voice, but you did it in a respectful way, and you were able to come on top.
Thank you for making that point. I did want, and I'm gonna say something controversial, Andy, with your story and leading what Haja was saying. I think that's a Kwame Nkrumah story. I don't believe me, and I'm not gonna put somebody else. I don't believe that Ghana's independence was gained in Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah went to Lincoln University.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As a member of Phi Beta Sigma, he kicked it in Philly, he kicked it in Harlem, he kicked it with Marcus Garvey. He came back with a different seed, a thought process. How you said, Andy, I came back and it's sort of, not saying aggressive, but it got me more engaged. I believe when Kwame Nkrumah came back, no disrespect to the Big Six, no disrespect. But I think they put him in position, they called him from London to just say, hey, let's just bring this guy and let him go ahead while we focus on making this money. And he didn't know. He's going around speaking to the youth. He's going around getting people engaged. So you know, I think your path is that's the Ghanaian story, bro.
But I think as to what Adra was saying, I think because when I first came, the first few months, you speak to the Diasporans. There's a circuit, isn't there, in Accra? The Diasporan Accra circuit. It starts in Jamestown Coffee House.
Oh my God! Yeah, everything is lovely. Everything is super
You might as well
dope.
be in London.
Kwame, wow, great point.
In some of those conversations, you hear people, saying things, and I'm just thinking, you hear people like, I've come, I'm here to do this for the Ghana people, I'm here to impart. If it was a movement, it'd just be like this. Right.
Fool.
I'm a director. I'm always thinking about something. So, when you were talking, and you were like, you can empower people to. I'm always very conscious of having any sort of mindset that where I've been raised and what I've learned. Obviously, voice is important. And, but anything that I think naturally, that I think is what I was doing, that was successful for me. How dare I think that I can just come in 1 6-hour flight here and now just be transposing like the same.
Yeah, definitely.
Where's the power? There's also power here.
Yeah.
There's also things that I need to learn
definitely.
and take away the thinking of this, which is very maybe what's the word? British and of empire. I've come here to understand what has made us great here. That maybe we've forgotten.
Yeah.
And so I'm always conscious of, because I can do program management, I worked for this company, I should come and teach. Why? I'm always conscious of that.
Right.
So that's what I was sharing.
No, yeah, definitely. Because every time I hear somebody say, I'm going to come there and make a change, I'm like,
Make what change?
Okay.
A year later, they're going back home.
And I always say, did they ask you to come make a change? Nobody asked you to come over here and do that.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
Nobody asked you. They didn't ask you to come over
Just
here.
to mirror what you said, I think that's what kind of woke me up as well. Is I remember when I was 10 years old, and if we look at the United States and the industry of film, there's a lot of power there. So the world has been dominated for years, for a lot of, it still is to a certain degree, of American movies. American movies, American music. So I grew up listening to all sorts of all sorts of music, but hip hop was what changed me. Right? I remember listening to Public Enemy. Those days, well, you're young anyway. But I mean, we used to, when we go to bed, we had a side, like the alarm clock on the side, but it had a radio. So we used to tune it all the way to the end. To get the pirate radio stations, And the pirate radio stations were playing like the hip hop and R&B from the States. So I used to listen to, I remember hearing Public Enemy and just listening to all the different songs that were on the album and stuff like that. Then Roots came out. I was like, whoa, this is the big wake-up call. I'm going to put my hand up. Yes, I was one of those children that went back to school the following day and beat up a white kid. Just because I saw Roots. No. Let's be real. I'm not gonna mention the person's name, but I did because it was reactionary. I was only 10 years old and I was in my feelings. So a lot of the times when you watch certain things, or if you listen to certain things, remember the eyes are your windows to your soul. So when you digest a lot of these things, it comes out in so many. It comes out in so many different ways. Forward to when I was like, I think I was 25 at the time. And that was my first experience going to America. That was in 2002. Flew out there for 3 days to Atlanta. That was the biggest shock of my life. Because this is where I saw Black excellence. In the UK, when we see...
I thought it was that.
No, not at all.
In the UK, when we're on a bus...
Hey, look. All right, carry on. I'm going to say Okay, carry on. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, in the UK, when it comes to, the black on black experience as a youth, when you see each other, there's anger. There's not, hey, how you doing? It's straight up. It's hostile. It's very, very hostile. Right? When I went to Atlanta, that changed me completely because I saw not only black excellence, I saw black people that own skyscrapers, buildings, institutions, the houses. I was living in Mapleton at the time because I went there for 3 days, then I went back again for a couple of weeks. So I got to, I was driving around and everything, and I was just speaking to so many different people. And what I realized that everybody was friendly to each other. When I flew back to the UK, and I remember I was on the train, I was on Gatwick Express, then I changed to go onto the underground tube, which you guys call the metro. And I saw some black guy just sat next to me. He went, straight away. And I thought, wow, damn, I'm back in England.
Yeah.
Whereas in America, when you're driving, you see another black person, it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
You understand each other.
yeah.
Yeah. And when we travel outside of the States,
And you hear each
see
other's
black
accents.
people,
Yeah.
hey, what's up? What's
Exactly.
up? You know,
So,
like, yes.
For me, just like you, America changed me.
Wow. You know, that's amazing because I struggle here because I'm used to speaking to everybody. And like people look at me, they know I'm not Ghanaian, you know, even though I'm half Ghanaian, but you know, I have that struggle of trying to connect here, but it ain't happening, so I've kind of given up. But yeah, I'm American, figure this shit out. Like,
you know what though? But yeah, that's interesting about connecting is because it's an organic connection. As we know, sometimes we're looked at as dollar signs.
Yeah.
And I feel that we have to play a big part in educating Ghanaians. I'm talking strictly our generation. Yeah, we're all successful. We have a little bit of money, but does that mean I'm going to give it to you?
You're right.
And
there's
why
a
would
sense
I
of
give it to you?
entitlement.
And let me sound and tell you why I would not give it to you.
Absolutely.
You know, because the generation before us came on pensions, and they came to show off. You know, what we're coming is. Necessarily, I might have it or I might not have it, but we're working. We're working for our money. So it's a big part of educating Ghanaians to see that that struggle that we're going through in the U.S.
They don't understand that. They don't understand what we have to deal with behind the scenes in order to have the money, the little money we do have.
I don't even have those conversations anymore.
Yeah,
because I think that it's a non-conversation. I will never understand what it's like
from that
to be raised in a salon down and have formative years here where maybe an education system doesn't equip you fully, or maybe doesn't allow you to think outside the box, or maybe you're doing some rote learning until you're 19 and then you finish 19 and then you can't even get a job, so you sit in your mom's house and sell jollof rice and then you're just trying to find money.
He said jollof.
No, maybe I don't mean to mock, but you know, because now you're selling food, but you learned something, and then you're looking at your government and you're looking at people with V8s and cars that you think that, and I could never, like, there would be a deep anger inside me if I was. So I don't have the conversation because we're just raised differently. You won't understand what it's like to be the only black person in a classroom until you're 21.
Facts.
Where you won't understand what it's like to be like, shit, what does it mean to be black in this country? Like, you won't understand your history not even being in history books, and you don't even know what your name means.
Exactly.
And I remember my mom said when I was 7, I came home, I wanted to be called Peter. I cried. I said, can you change my name from... I didn't even say it like that. Can you change my name? Because no one can pronounce it. And let's not even get to Asiadu. So I just want to cut out the stress. I just picked out a random name. Why am I picking out a biblical bloody name that's got nothing to do with me and is of my oppressors? Why am I doing that?
But let me ask you, did your parents use their Christian names? Because I know my father used John.
I didn't have a Christian. I've only got one name, because that's even more profound. So
He was John Cheatham. That's what my father used, John Branford Cheatham.
Wow.
He did not use this guy name at all.
Well, you guys, so this has been a great conversation around, you know, our challenges and you know, and the reasons we're here. And I think that we all have, you know, have come... I think it's been a spiritual calling for many people.
Not for Kwame. Kwame said he just came.
He just came.
No.
I myself, you know, I was trying to decide where I was going to go because I definitely had to get out of the U.S. And, you know, because my mental health was just, you know, and as a mental health professional, I got to help other people keep it together. And I was barely keeping me together. So I was like, okay, I got to do something. I got to get up out of here. And then, you know, COVID hit and I was like, okay, deuces, I'm out of here. I can't do this anymore. But so we have to, you know, we all have our purpose. I think Andy said it best. There's purpose. I think, and even if you weren't, you know, if you're in your mind, you weren't originally going to come here, you get here and it's like, damn, I'm supposed to be here. You know, now that was, you know, what brought me. So I think that as we all kind of talk about our own individual experiences, we have to understand that we do have to, as Kwame was saying, look at, you know, the other side. And we, coming from the diaspora, we have to get out of this mindset of we're coming to save.
Yeah.
And I think there's, you know, that is something that just really gets under my skin when I hear people say that. But we're not, you know, you have to find your niche here.
Great point.
You have to find
Yes.
where you're supposed to be.
And it takes time.
And it does take time. And Kwame, you're still in that baby phase of it. And I tell people it takes about 3 years to really get to a place where you're
I was told
comfortable.
5. I was told
3 to
5.
5.
Rock bottom.
Yeah.
Took me 7.
3 to 5. Okay, it took me 7.
7.
But at minimum 3, depending on you, depending on who you have around you, and you know whatever. But don't come here thinking, okay, yeah, I made it. This is it, and you know, and you know, I'm gonna be okay.
There's
a lot of things to consider here. Like Kwame, like the first 4 months were. Hey, I was, you know, everybody was around me.
Everybody.
Like, welcome home. Everybody, hey, we going here tonight. We going doing this. And then after 4 months, they dropped my ass like a bad habit. I was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Because they realized, okay, I wasn't putting out anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't putting out anything.
Can you clarify that?
Okay. You know what I mean. I'm a woman in Ghana, and I'm gonna say this. I tell women all the time: stop getting with the first dude you see that sweet talks you.
We have to have a session on that.
20 men. There's plenty of men.
And I'm glad you said that, because there's certain people that come over here, and I'm not being elitist, but you know, there's some women that come over here with these grandiose ideas that they come over here, they start dating carpenters, electricians, and all those kind of things. And
knowing that boy with an 8-pack ain't dating you 65 years old, and you think this boy 8-packed up, who work in the Trotro, loves you.
But that's a whole other conversation. So
it's only been 2 days. And it's only been 2 days. I love you. Really?
I love you.
So that's a whole other conversation.
Ghanaian guys are lover boys.
I do want to lead into this, rounding it back to I think everybody made a great point, and Audrey, you did too. Is the people who do not make it in Ghana are the people who do not have purpose. Why are you here? And that doesn't mean definitively you have to come in. One of you have to do this. But why are you here? What are you here? Are you here to impact someone? Are you here to find your car? Are you here to? Why are you here? And like I say, is everybody has to understand that you have to come to Ghana to work on yourself. You have to come to Ghana is to make yourself a better person. You cannot hustle Ghana.
I love it when you say
Hustlers here.
Yeah.
And when I say hustlers is the individuals behind the camera, these young men are better than any camera operators we know. These young people are not stupid. They have skills, they have talent. And there are things going on here. There's more money here in West Africa than there is any black people in the world. So don't think you're coming here spouting your ideas. So I just think that you have to be in touch with that. What is your purpose? And it takes time to do that. As Gabe said, 3 to 5 years. Maybe some people too. People in this room who are close to me have helped me develop. Okay, so I just want
it feels like Ghana is like a mirror.
Yeah.
And you know, you come here, and once you get out of the clubs, you are you have to face yourself. And you get all the nasty, horrible sides, because you know when you come to Ghana, you can have power over somebody if you really want to do that. It's more easier than maybe in the UK or in the US. You can really have an impact on somebody or something. So if you know you've got that power, like what are you going to do with it? I remember an old friend said to me, when we come from the diaspora and we come here, even by the mere fact that like, you know, we've been on a plane, or we've like, you know, potentially that's an experience that not everybody in even Accra has had. So maybe you're in like the top 5 to 10% of like of maybe wealth earners, just the fact that you can do that. And she said, so what are you gonna do with that power? And I felt really pressured when she said that, because I was still like, I came in at 4 a.m. Like I'm like I'm tired, I'm sleeping, that's what I'm doing. But in terms of it, and I think I'm happy that I had that pressure, because I clearly want to maybe, you know, do something impactful. But I was gonna say the mirror, and then I was gonna say, because in the UK, or in my experience in the UK, you don't need a mirror. You've got so many stuff propping you up that you don't even need to look at yourself. You've got your your job that you're not really doing nothing, but you're earning some
There's
sort
a
of
lot of
money.
distractions
Yeah,
in the
you've got
West.
Netflix, you've got your mortgage, you've got your house, you've got like
Got
things
your car,
that
your
will
4x4.
that can distract you from yourself.
There's so many distractions.
And I think in Ghana, that stuff is removed.
Yeah, because it makes you, it forces you to slow down. It forces you to become patient. You have
Yes.
Big
patience,
time.
and then I tell people all the time, I lack patience, and so I have no patience. And
If you don't have patience in Ghana, you're not gonna be able to
it's highlighted. It was highlighted when I moved here, and it's something that is a struggle for me every day. I have to work
every
hard
day,
at
every
that,
single.
every single
I've increased
day.
my meditation to 30 minutes a day.
Have you?
I
Okay.
actually think that if you don't do that,
Yeah.
because then if I leave my house, I'm already shouting at the Uber driver. I'm already shouting at the guy that you
Where
gotta
are you
calm.
going?
And I don't even
Boss,
know why
where
I'm
are you
rushing.
going?
But I don't know why I'm rushing. I'm rushing because we're always rushing
in the
where we're
the
going.
West. Yeah,
It's needed.
So the rhythm goes down,
yeah.
and when you slow down, you see things differently.
Definitely. You know, that's why I tell people, you know what, you got to start that mirror journey before you even leave and come.
I wish I did that.
Yeah, see. Yeah, exactly. Well,
Wrap up.
yeah.
I would like to say one last thing though. In all realness, in England, remember I told you about the apartment, the flat situation. You know, when you reach a certain age, the government give you a place to stay. Then you can choose to buy it and whatnot. Some people get so relaxed in that atmosphere where they don't need to think about anything else. They just need to go to, they go to work and like what you're saying. But you never have the idea that, that you will actually own anything. I think moving to Ghana changed that for me because I went from being someone who had a flat in the UK to owning a whole apartment building. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think Ghana allows you to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I never ever thought in my life, living in the UK, I was ever going to be a real estate developer. But one of my biggest projects was to build an apartment. I didn't build a house first. I just said, F it, let me just do this. So at least I got income coming in to push into my
makes
media
sense.
company and other things. So my advice to a lot of people that are even thinking about coming to Ghana, you live in the UK, you live anywhere else, it's just one of those things that you have to see it for what it is. Africa is still very much virgin. When you look on those flights, you see a lot of us there, but you see a lot of others as well. They're not coming here just because we're going to do a bit of tourism and go back. A lot of them do actually live here and make money here.
Yeah,
do you see what I'm saying? So so for those in the diaspora, Ghana's not for everybody.
No.
It's not. Let's be real. There are people here that are very, very much undesirables back home, and they come here with their nasty ass and do the same thing over here. But I think that might be for another series. Because I was just about to go in.
I see that all the time as a mental health professional. I'm like, sis, honey, you need to go home. Like, this is not the place for you. Yeah.
You're talking about those that were twerking at the castle, but we won't go there. We won't go there. I think that's another.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yes. And she was here to even marry somebody. She was here to meet her in-laws.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
I don't mean. Can we go on to the next subject? Because that might need to be the subject.
We took the hour.
Did we take the hour?
We took the hour.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And I think also I was going to say for us over here, we're helping build that bridge for people who are outside and for people who are here.
We're bridge builders.
We're bridge builders. That's why we're here, because we understand what people are going through over here, and then we can explain to those who are coming, hey, take it easy, have empathy. Do you know how much somebody makes a month? Understand if you're making that, you won't work hard. I will not work hard if I'm making 800 CDs a month. Don't expect me to work 40 hours, seriously.
Right. Yeah.
So we're part of that, building that bridge between the two, because people outside want to invest, want to send money, but they've been burnt by family members, by friends who've taken their money and misuse it. You see, people over here are complaining about people outside not sending them money, not caring, not understanding. But us here can we're part of that, you know, and that's we can bring because people can trust you and say, hey, because you're here, I'll send you the money. Aljua, take care of this for me. Then you, because it's trustful, you know the right workers, the right people to do things.
Exactly. And like I said, bridge building, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't twerk at the castle. You know, tell people that, like, trust me, it's not a good idea. You know,
That's so disrespectful.
Maybe you shouldn't just get off a plane and when the guy kneels down and gives you a ring, just say yeah. You agreed to marry him.
You know, but brother,
Did you see that footage?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And I know this leads to another subject for another one.
I'll send it to you.
yeah. I think that's going to be the next topic. We're going There's so much to discuss about that. So go ahead, Mo.
I think we should use this time to talk about what we do and what we're doing as far as our event that we held. Give my good job.
It was,
Chale Collective hosted trivia night. We hosted our first trivia night. And I would like to thank my partners, my friends, Chale Collective on doing a great job. I mean, we really bought the
and those in the States as well that are not with us at the moment.
Oh yeah, shout out to my girl Kendra Parker, shout out to my girl Tiffany Gamble. Love y'all, but y'all was there in spirit. We hosted our first trivia night. It was awesome. We held it at Captain Yao's. Aja was a host. I was a co-host. Andy was a door host. Kwame was doing media content. And Gabriel was our executive DJ. DJ and him. We really had a great time. And Chale Collective is just about bringing people together. Bringing people together to celebrate Ghana, engage, circular economy. Chale Collective, Captain Yao's definitely supported them. A location is already in business, but sister and brothers doing their thing. It's from the UK.
It's a couple that came from the UK.
Yeah. And that's their second location, correct?
Yeah. They started out in a small space, and then they in 1 year, they have grown. And they're able to move into a bigger space.
So our goal with Chale Collective is to move and create different events, create organic events, move to different locations, support locations. Ghana's up against a real challenge in business. A lot of businesses are no longer owned by us that we go to and we engage. And as our part, we need to make a difference actively and support those locations.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we plan to do that. I'm trying to get it.
I was going to say, if you could just touch on what exactly circular economy means.
Yeah. From a basic standpoint, circular economy means is for us to spend dollars that we make and spend them with businesses and make sure that those businesses use that income is to go back into the economy in our communities. And it just goes around and comes back to us.
So our goal here is to make sure that we hold events that appeal to us and in spaces that are owned by us.
Yes, quite simply. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout from dinner parties, other events, engagement, music, and all type of stuff, right? Hey, and check out the T-shirts.
Thank you, Kwame.
Thank you for that.
Why don't I have one? Why don't I have one? The Triple XL was a Chinese Triple XL. Aja will be posting up the picture, looking like baby Huggy. So I know I gotta work out with them.
Mr. Incredible.
Mr. Incredible. I was busting out the city. But shout out to Andy, he'll get a logo done. Shout out to Kwame for finding dope T-shirts. We're gonna be marketing this gear pretty soon, man, because it's looking super dope.
And we're gonna have merch coming soon for sale.
Facts. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys, this has been great conversation.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real. It was so organic that I didn't even know that we went past the hour. I thought we were going to our next segment.
We missed it.
Seems it was a good intro, kind of
I think so.
All of us.
I think so. Yeah, it was awesome. All right.
Signing out. And Chale. Love you. Peace.
Okay.